In more developed markets, companies focus on image and customer. Developing the customer, slicing and dicing the customer, understanding customer needs, and then being able to deliver those. In China, the dynamic for the brands has been more channel and goodwill. Channel because you got to get the brands out into the marketplace, and right now in China, what a lot of companies struggle with is getting out into the third and the fourth and the fifth tier markets. And the goodwill aspect, do they have the license to operate? Are people predisposed to liking them?
The obstacle is infrastructure, to be frank. China is a ginormous country. Jiangsu province alone is the size of England. That is a challenge. The scale of the country and being able to move around efficiently using the infrastructure that's available to you.
It's very difficult to make money in the mainstream if you're sending beer long distances. Typically perhaps 200, 250 kilometres would be the radius at which it's economic.
So therefore you need to be really clear on how you deliver economically to those outlying areas.
The impediments are, in many cases, the involvement of local government in smaller breweries, because you'll have competitors who may sell at sub-economic prices. So there is, in the Chinese economy, there are people who are willing to sell at a loss.
If you're competing on price, there's always going to be somebody perhaps further inland with cheaper labour who isn't abiding by environmental standards properly, probably has cheap capital. Cheap capital is a huge issue here, where loans are made by the local, effectively forced on a local bank by the local government. If you look at the non-performing loan situation in China, apart from the huge amount that's in real estate, there's a lot of real estate developments that are underwater, but I think there's still a lot of investment in manufacturing or debt financing in manufacturing that is actually never going to be repaid.
I wouldn't describe it as fragmented. What I would describe it is a market where you have to be flexible. We'd like to think there's probably a 70-30 split there. There's a national initiative, our national brands, our national image, and there's a 30% possible of flexibility to say the customer here is different, they're looking for something different, they're looking for something specific. And it's not necessarily just about price, it's also about style in some cases, it's about colour in other cases. If you look at our Tier 3 city model at the moment, the growth on the economic data is there, no question. However, when you look at household income versus Shanghai at the other extreme, you do see extremes. Therefore, what's appropriate in our image in this store in Shanghai to what's appropriate to customers and their demands from a store in Changchun, for example, are very, very different. You'll be amazed, in some cities, people read newspapers and maybe read 2 newspapers a day. In other cities, the readership level of newspapers is minute. So we can't say newspaper is our media strategy, core across the business. TV is very important in some cities, radio is very important in others.
Even when you're marketing in China, to be able to be very local but also very international for international brands is very important. It resonates well.
Many businesses fail because they rest on the laurels of their reputation. The international brand element of our business is critical because we're going into cities where B&Q, albeit we're the 3rd largest in the world as Kingfisher Group, is totally unknown. The challenge is, do you go out there all guns blazing, shout about being international, or do you gain people's trust by demonstrating it in the quality of service that you give, the quality of after-sales service that you give, the transparency on price that you give? He's a potential customer, but if this is his first visit to us, he won't be buying today. We know he won't be buying today, but we need to give him the guarantee that we know what we're talking about with this product. So our expertise, what the benefits are of the products that we sell, and in the meantime, very importantly, the lady that's with him is writing down the price. Our experience is they will now go to at least another 5 outlets, our competitors or the traditional market, and compare what they're being told, compare the quality, compare the after-sales guarantee, and importantly, compare the price. So we have one shot at this. It's not a case of just putting it on the shelf and letting the price be the judge. We've got to sell the project. As the market develops, as people's jobs become more demanding, people don't have time to really get concerned with those 6 visits I talked to you about. They need to go into a place that they can trust. They need to see a price that they can afford, that is right and doesn't have hidden extras. And they need to get the service that says once they've made that decision, what they get is what they paid for.
A good sale in China, you need to be competitive. You need to be, the buyers here are looking for a really keen price, but also they want to have the best quality, the best technology, and you also need to establish good relationships with the customers. And it's not just when you're dealing with a big project, seldom is it one focal point. You've got a design institute, you've got a power bureau, you've got the power station. You've got to make sure you know the right people in each organisation and convince them that you are the right company, you've got the right product to do the job.
One of the negatives that has obviously come out of the China growth of the last 5 years has been around pollution and the environment. There is no question the Chinese government is seeing that they've got to a point where they need to change. And whether it be measuring the air quality or measuring of water quality, that from a government perspective is becoming more transparent. As a result, the middle income people and above definitely are much more aware than ever. And as they have money and as they have the ability to make choice, so they're understanding that family health is incredibly important. They're becoming more aware of their maybe only their local environment of their city, but therefore when they build a home, they need to make sure this is almost their refuge, somewhere they can live in a healthy way, and it's not just about pure cost value, it's value in its full sense of the word, quality of life values. And that's a very interesting new aspect to Chinese society that's coming through.